No volume on
No
Michael.
volume. No volume.
Yeah, I clicked it, and it didn't click off again as I muted myself. You know what? I've been acting a lot like our friend Matthew Blitz Graybeard recently with this mute button. So I apologize, everybody. My name is Michael, your most humble and merciful dungeon master. It's good to see you all tonight. Welcome to Delve and Dash, and we're going to do a live recap from last week with the wonderful Stumpy from chat. Jamie, if you could take it away for us.
Why, yes. Hello, it is I, Stumpy from chat. You're a magnificent overlord of all of you Chattopians. I just made that up.
Chat. Did you just say Chattopians?
Chattopians, yes.
Very nice.
Never would have guessed I made that
It
up.
has been declared that you are all Chattopians of proficiency bonus.
Yes, they're from Chattopia. All right, last time on Storm King's Thunder.
Nice. Nice. Yes. There it was, folks. There it was. Wrong show.
I have to do it every time.
You're not even on that show.
I know. It's weird. No, Christy. Anyways, last time our wonderful adventurers emerged from the evil lair of Miss May with the pregnant dwarf lady whose name I can't quite remember, and then. Oh, we never learned it in the first place, because we're great at our jobs. And then we adventured through the swamp back towards the dredging ship, whereupon we found the captain and realized that a lot of people weren't there anymore. We took the lady to the captain, and the captain said to take the lady back to town. So we decided we were going to go back to town. But little did we know, Raz had other plans, and Raz wants to leave. So Raz was sad and hiding in a corner when Franklin destroyed her hiding spot 100%, so she couldn't hide anymore. And then she also pulled Silver to the side. She told everybody but Vix, thinking Vix would be the hardest to tell, but Vix just told her to leave. Cried, fell asleep in Silver's arms, and then some other things happened, but I was asleep for those.
True.
Yeah.
I believe Raz had discovered that Merritt and his goons had left.
Oh, right.
And there wasn't really any accurate paperwork on those three folks. And that's really, I think, where we ended the episode.
Yeah, sketchy.
Also, I need to start keeping notes on all the things I take. My notes got messed up. I need to keep better notes.
D&D Beyond! You can use that for notes! For those of you on Twitch, we do have our D&D Beyond overlay, so you now have access to our players' character sheets. So you can check them out in real time, live, with us. So you can click on their little character faces and see their entire character sheet and all the goodies that they have. So I hope you guys enjoy that. So we begin tonight. As you guys, Raz, you were pretty upset by this discovery of Merritt's shady-looking paperwork, as most of it wasn't even filled out. Simple name, but most of it wasn't filled out. It was signed, but there was no paperwork for Gabriel or Otto. For some reason, it's just what didn't exist. And that's where you guys ended off. So what would you like to do, adventurers?
I think we're heading back to the city or the town.
Yep, Woodhurst.
That's what we were doing.
Okay. So you guys make your way back off of the dredging ship towards the town of Woodhurst. After the defeat of Miss May, the light areas of woods around you don't carry that same creepy essence that you've once felt traveling through this area of land. Franklin, you know from being a local around here that something has definitely been lifted from this place. And things are a lot more peaceful when it comes to the wildlife. You see more wildlife, and it seems a little bit less aggressive. Just towards the overall landscape has just changed. And you make your way to Woodhurst. You can see that
Is
from.
Jibby following us?
Make a perception check.
I thought Jibby was on my shoulder.
Was he?
That's what I thought.
Is he still on your shoulder through all this?
I thought he was some kind of like badass frog.
I got a 16. Is Jibby on his shoulder?
You look and you don't see him at first, and then all of a sudden, peering over the top of his shell, you see these two bright big eyes like peer over his shell. And yeah, it looks like Jibby and actually a couple of his friends are on his shoulder. Kind of, it's almost like they're waiting for him to get some swamp lettuce out to start eating it, so they can kind of pick the crumbs off the floor or something like that.
We need fan art of Jibby.
We must have fan art of Jibby.
I mean, I think he's our team mascot now, so...
That's it. We can
He
get
has to be.
some t-shirts made, flags and pendants.
We heard Jibby.
All right. So you guys made your way back to Woodhurst, this small upstart community. What would you guys like to do here as you make your way back?
I want to go to the office of what's her face. I'm pulling up my notes. I think it starts with a V.
Valera?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I have no idea where to take the pregnant lady, so I'm just following Raz.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are headed straight through town, and it's almost like town's central main road is kind of like being on a dock. It's wooden planks that are built on top of cut down tree trunks. As you make your way, and you can see several different simple wooden log cabin kind of structures on the sides, simple shops, and eventually you do pass a place that seems to be an apothecary. And you can see that there appears to be a sign on the apothecary that has just a simple potion bottle kind of carved into a simple, what looks to be, you know, kind of like when loggers are just cutting a tree stump down into small sections. It's just a circular sign that's hanging. Seems like the
stump.
not the stump. And Silver, you notice a familiar figure standing outside. The little gnome that you talked to, Constrictor Griff, that kind of reminds you of Crocodile Dundee, is leaning up beside the door of this structure, and he's got this massive, looks to be snake. He's wearing it kind of like a scarf around his neck, and it's hanging down, and the tail just like sits down onto the ground in front of him, and you can see that the head of the snake has completely been lopped off, and it's hanging on the other side, and a little bit of blood is just like dripping down onto the wooden planks of the floor. And he's standing there, he's got a huge cigar in his mouth, and he's just smoking on the front of this place.
I forget, did Franklin get some frogs that he wanted us to collect? Was that a thing that Franklin did at one point?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I think you guys got a whole bag of them.
Franklin, can you hand me those frogs that you collected?
Sure, I can. And I reach and grab the stuff and hand it to him.
I'm gonna go get us some money, hopefully. I start making my way over towards him.
Okay. Yeah, you approach, and he looks to you, and you can see he takes like a big hit of this and just puffs this smoke out. It's little gnome. He's only like 3.5 feet tall, if that. He looks up at you, he tilts his hat up.
I just kind of like squat down.
Okay.
So I'm more face to face with him.
Hey, mate.
Is that why you get called Constrictor Griff? Because of the giant snake?
Well, I guess, mate. This here vine viper thought it could get the best of me. I got it, mate. Look. And he picks it up and just waves the headless snake kind of around. Some blood drips off the end of it.
It's very nice. I've had a few snakes in my day. Here's some of these frogs I think you wanted.
Oh, good. He grabs them, opens it up. One of them tries to jump out really quick, and he just grabs it and just throws it back in the bag really quick. And oh, yeah, you got a bunch of these little buggers, mate. Yeah. This is great.
Unfortunately, we couldn't find any of the bigger ones, but
yeah, there.
I just got you these.
Those Ufaga are hard to find. Well, come on in. We'll give them to Sister Gariel. And he goes to open the door and he walks inside.
I follow him inside then.
Okay. Are the rest of you entering too, or are you guys headed to the other location?
I'm still heading to the bookkeeper.
Okay.
I am following Raz.
Okay. Following Raz. Okay. What was that, Jamie?
I'm waddling behind her.
Okay. So you guys are headed with Raz. Silver walks into this place, and immediately upon entering, Constrictor gets scolded by a female voice. Now, I've told you on several occasions not to smoke in here, Constrictor. And he just stops in his tracks, takes the cigar, walks by the door, and just kind of like flings it out the door. And you hear a splash. And then walks back in past you, Silver. Sorry. And he apologizes. He has his head down a little bit. He walks over to the edge of the countertop and slaps this thing of frogs up there. They brought us some of these bags of dendros. We can use these. And she's like, yes, we definitely can. And she looks over towards you, Silver, and she's like, we're definitely grateful that you have brought us this. We're running dangerously low on supplies. And
no problem.
She gets a small wooden chest out from underneath the countertop. She opens it up. She starts counting out some coin, and she hands it to Constrictor to give to you. And they hand you about 20 gold pieces worth of payment. Yes. All right.
If we can find any of the other bigger frogs that you all wanted, we'll bring them to you.
That would actually, and Gariel kind of looks at you. She's a blonde human woman, probably in her 30s. You would probably assume. She kind of looks at you and says, "Well, if you can find a few of those are probably the most important things that we need right now. See, we use the eyes to help us to create healing potions, and we're running dangerously low on those right now."
Well, if we have, me and my group have some time to spare, we will definitely try and find them for you. And you just need the eyes, correct? If I'm remembering.
Yeah, yes, just the eyes. Yes. So, and she kind of just walks around and she's organizing some things. She's not really sure, she doesn't seem like she's a small talk kind of person. Mm-hmm. Just strictly busy right now and just moving around, organizing things. Looks like she's mixing a couple brews of different concoctions back behind the counter.
And this shop is just basically a whole bunch of potions kind of things.
Most of it it's very bland. It's very plain. There's a few benches on the side, look like waiting areas. It also looks like she has an area that kind of goes around the side, and there's almost like a makeshift hospital bed. Just built out of simple wooden planks, simple comforting mattress that's on it.
Okay. Well, I think my name is Silver. I don't. Just so you know, for future, and I'll return if I find those eyes. That if we ever find them.
That would definitely be great. And if you find any more of the other items, we could use those too. But the eyes are the most important at this point.
I mean, was there anything else you needed other than the small little frogs?
Well, we do need vine vipers, but we, as you can see, we got one this morning, so that kind of helps us. And you can see in the back, behind the counter, the head of the vine viper is back there, and its fangs are sitting inside the top part of some kind of glass compartment, and it looks like the venom is being drained out of the fangs.
Well, I'll keep my eye out for those. Also, and thank you for the money.
No.
Talk to you all.
May Lyra bring joy to your life as she kind of bows to you. You can see she's kind of wearing a little bit more flamboyant attire than you would. Lots of blues and reds and yellows within her attire. It's definitely priestly vestments in the way that it looks, but it's, instead of like a plain white priestly vestment or plain color, it's a little bit more flamboyant.
Okay. I'm just gonna try and catch up with the other members.
Okay.
Oh, goody, because I want to stop Raz as we're walking.
Okay, perfect.
I cast Mage Hand, and I just tap you on the shoulder, but I'm standing right behind you.
I turn and probably look at about shoulder height, and don't see anything because you're not as tall as my shoulder.
My Mage Hand grabs like the back of your head and like tilts it down to look down to me. I have my arms up.
I reach down and pick you up.
I crawl onto your shoulders. I'm really glad you decided to not leave. I just give her a big old hug around the head.
For now, Vix. For now. And I sort of pat you as you are hugging me.
You don't have to feel alone. Or feel like you need to be alone. I felt like I needed to be alone for a long time too. But it's better when you have friends.
That's the thing, Vix. I don't have friends.
Yes, you do. I'm right here on your shoulders.
Or I guess I should say I've never had friends.
Well, now you do, and I'm not going to let you throw it away, so you better not pull anything like that ever again.
How about this? How about if I leave, I take you with me?
Okay. I mean, that's how... But what about Silver? Silver and Franklin, what about them? I'm going to get really angry if you do it again.
I feel like you're like pulling on my ear at this point.
Yeah, I am. I'm trying to be menacing, but it's not easy.
Do you want to roll an intimidation? I'm really curious how well you do.
No. That's a 10.
How intimidated am I, Dia?
Not very intimidated. If he would have rolled a natural 20, it would have been a different story.
I was in exile of my clan. I had to be alone for a long time. And I'm telling you right now, being alone isn't as good as being with friends.
When you say that you were an exile, I sort of stop walking because I had sort of started ambling again. And I actually, like, reach up and sort of pull you off my shoulder, and I'm holding you so I can look you in the face. I know what that feels like. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it was more by necessity. I don't know, maybe... I don't know.
They just really wanted to kill me, like, really bad. So I ran away.
I mean, I know some people who I'm sure would love to have you around. More than just Silver and Franklin.
Well, but they're my friends, too. Silver and me have been through a lot. It's only been like a month, but we've been through a lot. He fought a giant thing one time. I think he called it like a what was it? Was it like a deer? I think he called it a deer. I'm not sure. It was really scary though. It's very big.
I sit you back on my shoulder so you don't notice that I'm like trying not to laugh.
It almost killed me. It tried to step on me. I was just picking some berries. Next thing I knew, there was a thing behind me.
I'll promise you this, Fix. I'll never leave without telling you. Okay?
No, you're not leaving at all.
That's the most I can promise you.
No. You can promise me more. We're friends. Like, whether you like that or not.
I've never even promised anyone that before.
Well, that's
Normally
a
I
good
just
first
leave,
step.
okay?
That's a good first step. But you're not leaving. If you leave, we're still your friends, so we're still in danger because we're gonna die.
Can
I'm
we
gonna
talk
write
about
your
this
name
later?
down in a book. If I write it down in a book and they see it, they're gonna know I was your friend and they're gonna kill me anyway. So I'm in danger regardless.
You make a convincing argument. Are you okay if we finish our business here though first?
As long as you don't leave, sure.
I won't leave until everything is done.
All right.
And I start walking again towards.
Okay.
I rest my head on the top of her head.
All right.
I just sit there.
About this time, you guys, with the conversation kind of slowing your travel down a bit, Silver is catching up to you guys rather quickly as he's making his way. Silver, go ahead and make a perception check for me, please, as you're heading your way up to catch the party.
All right. That is 18.
18? Silver, you, every once in a while, to the corner of your eye, you catch like a glimpse of something, and you peer over your shoulder, and it seems like you're being followed. And when you catch your eye like a second time, you just take a glance. It looks like Constrictor Griff. It's just like going from building to building, like just as you're walking straight, he just goes from one building to the next. He's trying to be very stealthy, but it's his snakeskin boots that are clopping against the wooden bottom of the kind of dock-like landing. You'll hear him go across, and then he hides, peers around the corner, and goes.
One of these times where he goes behind a corner, I'm just gonna like charge directly for that corner and just look around. Can I help you?
Actually, as you charge, you hear him go, ah! And he starts to run back through another alleyway, and he trips over the snake that he has wrapped around his neck, and goes, ah! 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 And he's like laying there in the alley.
See, and that's why you don't run with those around your neck.
I just thought you might want it. Here! And he throws it at you.
Okay, thank you.
You said you like snake.
Why? I mean, it's very delicious. Yes.
Yeah, mate. It's good eating. It's fresh.
Is that the only Is that why you were following me?
Well, I was just, you're an interesting group, I just wanted to see what you're up to, mate.
Okay, well, you don't have to be all sneaky. You can just walk it. You can come with me.
I can't?
Is there a reason why you can't?
Is there a reason why I can't?
Not that I know of.
Touche. And he stands up and he just starts walking beside you, like confidently, like he's important or something. He he picks his hat up off the ground and puts it back on his head and tightens it up on his head. So where to, mate?
We're gonna meet up with them. And I point to the people up farther.
Okay. Sounds good, mate. You hear,
just keep walking.
You hear his boots are clopping behind you. As he's walking with kind of like a more confident strut, he's like looking around at everybody walking by in the town, and he like has this very bright glow about his personality that he's walking beside you, Silver. I don't know, there's just something about you that he seems like he's moved up in the world now that he's standing next to you and walking with you.
Okay, this is weird. Hey guys.
And eventually you guys slow down to hear Silver approaching, and you also hear this clopping of these snakeskin boots coming beside him.
I got us some money and a snake apparently.
And a friend, apparently.
Oh yeah, this is Constrictor Griff. He's the one that gave me the snake.
He
We've met.
He looks down, he looks around, he tightens up his hat and is like, I might. He just looks all at all of you.
I just hand everybody 5 gold pieces, split it evenly, so.
Constrictor Griff has his hand out. Oh.
I hand him the empty bag.
he looks down in the bag, looks back up at you, looks down in the bag, takes the bag and puts it back in his pack.
So apparently he wanted us to hang out with us, I guess.
And he looks.
I'm sure.
He looks at all you. He invited me. He said, "Yeah, come on." So I did, mate.
And he did.
Well, we have business for now, so...
What kind of business?
Business that's none of your concern.
Oh, right. Okay.
I haven't had gold before.
You haven't had gold before, mate?
No.
Well, you have 5 now.
Can we go to the store?
After we finish our business. You never know, we might end up with more. And I just walk very, very purposefully towards the office.
Okay.
It seems like so much. I could have more.
I don't know, we'll see what we if they have any extra in the coffers.
You can share some with me if you want, mate.
It's mine.
I pat Vix on the shoulder. Right answer.
Constrictor just holds up both hands, like, okay, mate. And he just kind of like follows behind you guys as you're headed towards the office. You make it back to Valera's nicely mended establishment from Franklin and with a little bit of help from Vix and his mage hand. As you guys mended pretty much the entire outside. Any crack or imperfection that was in the wood has been completely magically sealed and closed up to look like just perfect wooden planks and boards on this log cabin. And
Does she have any planters outside?
she might have a few. Nothing too crazy, but she may have a few, yeah.
I cast a druid craft to make flowers bloom.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, so these varying colors of flowers begin to bloom out from the planters. And this place is looking nice. Franklin, you're pretty proud.
Knock on the door.
Knock on the door. After after a moment, you hear the door open just a little bit, and you can see Valera look out. Oh, you're back. And she opens the door and kind of walks back, almost just inviting you in without necessarily, showing you the way.
I'm going to walk in, hold the door for everyone else, but then shut it in Grip's face.
you just hear the he's not even paying attention. He's like looking at the flowers that are now in the planters beside the door, and you just hear and then you just hear him fall over right in front of the door.
We'll be out in a minute. And then I walk into the
Nice.
Franklin just stands at the door.
Just standing at the door, like inside? Okay.
Yeah, inside at the door.
Okay. Valera walks, as she was walking away, she was walking towards her desk, and she's just like holding her temple, and she's, it seems, please tell me you have something good for me.
We do. There shouldn't be an issue with Cole going missing anymore.
And she quickly just turns around and gives you a look, as, oh, really? How?
Yes.
How so?
We found or I guess we should say we managed to apprehend some of the thieves and convince them to turn on their leader, and they led us to the lair, and well, there shouldn't be any problems anymore.
Oh, that is great. This is great news. And she looks down and I just remembered something. She goes to the side, and there's a wooden chair that's setting up against the wall. And she picks it up and she walks it over towards Vix and Franklin and sets it down. There, you see, this chair doesn't seem to sit perfectly right.
I just cast mending.
Okay. She
Pat
the chair with your mage hand. That's look, it's already stable. That's amazing. Thank you both. And you know what? I got other good news. And she looks over towards Raz. She says, we have a barge on the way. It will be here within a few hours. I am so excited. We have some new employees arriving in Woodhurst. We have some merchandise. We have a new shipment of coal on the way. And to find out that it won't be missing anymore, this is music to my ears. I'm so relieved. Thank you.
I'm glad we could help. Did anyone new from the ship come through while we were gone?
Anyone new from the ship?
I mean, any new faces to Woodhurst, new people who had abandoned the ship?
I really haven't.
Or left?
I haven't really been out and about the last couple of days. I've been trying to, lock down this shipment and try to get these things organized. I haven't really been out and about. Why? Has something happened?
The captain just told me that a few others had abandoned the ship, but he couldn't find the paperwork to forward it on to you to get completed. So he was wondering if you had the paperwork on them, so I could ensure that their discharge got completed.
Sure. Do you know the names?
Yeah, it would be Merritt, McCormick, and then Otto and Gabriel. I'm not sure of their last names.
Okay. Let me.
They would have all come on at the same time, I believe.
Same time. Okay. Let me take a look. And she walks behind her desk. She has a file cabinet. Starts diving through this wooden file cabinet of all these file folders and things, pieces of parchment and paper and things that she's looking through. And she takes out one paper, looking in it kind of suspiciously, and walks over to you. All I have is this. There is a Merritt McCormick. But other than the signature from the captain and some minor indications on this paper, there isn't much of this filled out. I mean,
Same as on the ship, then.
you couldn't find it on the... Well, most of what's on the ship is actual copies from what we have here.
We were hopeful.
Hmm.
Okay. If you... Was she on the ship at any point?
She was, yeah.
Okay. If you happen to, hear or see anything of them, would you jot it down and let me know?
Sure, I can do that. Merritt was the jerk, wasn't it? Wasn't it that one? Then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gabriel and Otto were his cronies.
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah, I remember those interesting fellows. Huh. I wonder how.
They, jumped ship right after we left.
Oh, interesting. She just kind of... looks like she has a pondering expression on her face, but...
Did you know anything about them?
Well, other than Merritt was an absolute jerk to me most of the time, never stopped to question and look for paperwork. That was, I'm not sure how this happened.
I mean, we were rather desperate at times.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot going on.
Possible they just got misplaced.
It seemed like they were... I don't know. They were always in the right somehow. Seemed
They
like...
did have a, persuasive air about them.
Yes. Now that I think about it, they always did. Even if one was a complete arrogant fool.
And the others were just fools.
Yeah. I never really talked much with them. They usually let Merritt do the talking.
Hmm. The others didn't merit a response. Sorry.
But
And with that, did she replace the candle in the room?
there are some other candles in the room. They just are on different shelves and things like that. So yeah, you see a couple other candles that are used to light the room at night.
I'm gonna try to take them.
Okay, all of them?
As many as I can before time runs out.
Okay, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check with your... I'm assuming you're using your mage hand to do this.
Yes.
I want to see if I notice this.
Okay, you can make anybody can make a perception check.
13.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay. So the mage hand is patting this chair as Franklin finishes mending this thing together.
And then it goes like this,
and then it starts...
and it looks around.
It looks around, and it's like patting the wall. It looks like it's continuing to repair things. It's making its way around, and then
You can see a candle and it goes...
it just goes to grab it, and you notice Valeria, she looks up and she sees this candle floating in this hand. Does that need fixed too?
Yes, I have to take it back to my wax shop to get it fixed.
Make a deception check.
I can't roll good at rolls tonight. Deception, you say?
Deception.
13 again.
You just beat it. She rolled a 12. So she, seeing that you have a candle on your staff and everything, starts to put two and two together that you must have just some kind of obsession with these candles, or maybe you do run a wax candle shop. She's not really 100% sure, but she buys it. And you have a candle. What color is the candle that you got, Vix?
I imagine it to be a candy cane color.
Okay, excellent. It's the red and white spiral design up there.
Yeah.
Like it. So, Franklin, you are holding on to this dwarven woman who's still relatively unconscious. And Valera looks at you and is, you know, you really should probably take her to Sister Gariel's. She might be able to help.
I don't know where that is.
Where, where did you find her?
With the coal thieves.
Huh.
She was from the ship. They had come through. We had them for dinner, so then they must have gotten caught up in something.
Interesting. The captain didn't mention anything about having any guests.
I think they were just travelers who happened upon the ship in the marsh, and we offered them food.
Yeah. What's a shame they came through this neck of the woods. It is. She just kind of like looks down at her for a moment, and yeah, you probably should get her to Gariel's.
Yes, and we should be going. But yes, if you hear anything, let us know. And
Will do. And I'll keep my eyes peeled for Merritt and his goons.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
As I go to walk out, I want to sort of walk near the shelves and see if I can palm myself a candle.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
Started the candle wars.
That is 14 plus 7, 21.
She rolled pretty good, but you managed to beat it. Yeah, she seems to turn around and not even paying attention, and you quickly just reach out your hand and slip another candle into your...
Oh no, I actually palm it up to Vix.
Oh, you just palm it? You just grab it, like toss it?
About candles. I got it for him.
She turned right around. She wasn't really paying attention as you grab it. What kind of candle is this, Jamie?
This one is a purple candle. Just all purple.
All purple. Solid purple candle.
Yeah, like a lavender candle.
I love it. So now you can add all these candles to your inventory in D&D Beyond. So our viewers can keep track of how many candles you have stolen throughout the campaign.
Haven't I stolen like 2 other candles, I think?
I think, yeah.
At least, I think you got one, and then you also melted down
almost got
another
the
one.
second one.
We need like a little count at the top where it says blank out of blank, you know, like here's his candle goal for the campaign and how many he's had.
Yeah.
And also we need a mending one at the top corner for Franklin.
Just a check mark for each episode. Like as long as you hit it, we can check the
As long as you hit it, we can check the box, right? All right. So, yeah.
Eric, you and me need catchphrases to
you guys head on out. As soon as you come out, you see Constrictor Griff is just sitting there in front of the establishment, kind of rubbing his forehead a little bit. He takes his hat.
Flip him a copper. Just say thanks for waiting.
He doesn't even see you flick it to him. It just lands in his lap, and he's like, didn't you? I thought you had gold pieces, mate.
Isn't it magical?
Well, I guess this'll do. He cleans it off and puts it in his money pouch. Stand up.
Come on, Griff, get up. We're going.
He gets up. Is she always like that, mate?
I mean, that was just a little bit of personal business.
Yeah, but I
understand.
Yeah, I understand, mate. Yeah.
Maybe if you just keep an eye out on, your surroundings, that you wouldn't have ran into the door.
I'm usually pretty good at that. Didn't see that one coming. Those flowers were just so nice.
Yes, they are. I think I know where we can take the dwarf lady. Griff, do you think your friend could look after her?
Oh, I think she could, mate. She's pretty good at that sort of thing.
Good to know.
All right.
Start walking that direction.
Okay. So you begin headed that direction back to Gariel's, and I guess Franklin brings Gariel or the woman into Gariel's chamber.
This is where we're dropping her off.
Yeah. There is kind of like a makeshift hospital bed that's on the side, and you see Sister Gariel rushes over as you bring her in and set her down kind of on the bed, and
Before I put her down, I cast mending on the bed.
Okay. So there were some areas where the stitching in the mattress was starting to rip, and you have completely sealed those areas, and none of the straw or stuffing is falling out of those that mattress anymore.
I also cast it on the pillow before I put her down.
Okay. So the pillow is extra fluffy now. It's been completely mended and restored. Mending is that it is a cantrip, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
That
you
is
can just
Yep.
just mending.
Yes, it's amazing. I love the cantrip.
Everybody's going to have the mending cantrip pretty soon. Okay. She seems like she's kind of checking for vitals and things like that, but notices that she is okay. She sees, you can see her kind of taking her hand, and you can see that she noticed that she is pregnant. So she's taking extra precautions. She seems upbeat about everything and goes over and starts to put some kind of ointment onto a rag or a towel and starts kind of like wiping her forehead and her face and things like that. Some of the cuts and bruises that she might have had. And you relatively confident you think she'd be safe here.
Okay, I continue to follow Raz.
Okay.
Yeah. Where to now, Russ?
Well, I believe Vix wanted to go see if he could spend some of his money, so perhaps we could go to the general store. It's not much, but
I got what I needed. I take out both candles.
well then,
You know, you could probably just buy those now, since you have gold.
I could start a horde. A horde of candles.
isn't stealing them so much more fun though?
It's very fun.
I know. I
I'm
do.
gonna start a horde of candles.
Teaching him bad things.
I don't know what you're talking about. I just go all big-eyed, like, what?
Franklin, can you make a perception check for me?
Let's just say, I almost rolled a 1. So I got a 6.
Okay. You know what? The rest of you could probably make this check too. I'll give the rest of you an opportunity to make this perception check.
11.
11.
Oh god, for a second I couldn't tell if that was a 7 or a 1. It's a 7.
Perception is 11.
12.
Okay. Did you say you rolled a 6, Franklin?
I got a 6 total.
6 total. Okay, that's good. Because he rolled terribly. You guys notice Constrictor as you guys are walking outside. He is eyeing Jibby and the frogs that are on Franklin's shoulder. And he's got the little bag that you guys gave him back. And he's got it open. And he looks like he's like pondering, thinking about jumping on Franklin's back and scooping up these frogs.
I noticed
minor
this, right?
illusion, a
Yeah.
spider on his shirt.
This is where you let him do it and find out the hard way.
No, I walk up to him and I just grab him because he's a gnome, right?
Yeah, he's a little gnome.
Yeah, I can one-arm that. I'm just gonna grab him and like lift him up. Don't think about it.
And then there's a little spider on his chest. As Vix
And then
is
drop
doing. He's looking down at his chest and looking at you, and there's just a spider.
He falls.
He drops the bag. He's like, "Okay, mate. Okay. I just, those little dendros, they could get you some money."
We don't need any more money.
Okay.
Or another traveling companion.
Oh. Ouch. Jeez.
Sorry, Griff.
So I'm out?
If we come back through, you can hang out with us. That work for you?
Yeah, I guess that would
None
work.
of the risks,
I guess
all the rewards?
Yeah, I guess that would kind of work. I could deal with that. Yeah.
Fine.
I have a
See you
question.
next time we're through. Yeah, Vix?
Before you leave, Griff, did you actually kill the snake?
Well, and he just turns around and he walks away.
I guess I'll take that as a no.
And as you guys are doing this, you hear a large horn, a loud horn, kind of echo throughout the area. And as you look from where the dredging ship had made a canal through this area, there is a large vessel headed up towards the town. And it looks like there is a lot of people on it as they are surrounding the outsides. It's built with a rather flat deck area. It looks much like a barge would, but there is a area in the back where it looks like people could, you know, there might be rooms or something like that. It looks like it's a way for them to access to get to here. And you can see that a lot of people in Woodhurst are kind of coming out and looking out towards the water and just are super excited. There's a buzz around the area. You guys can all make an additional perception check for me at this time.
6 again.
7.
7.
19.
19 and 17?
Yep.
Okay. Franklin and Vix, you guys are just amazed by what's happening. Seeing this barge approach, seeing all these people.
Lettuce to Jibby and his friends.
All right, yeah, they're just chomping away. Their tongues like zap out almost even before you can get the swamp lettuce to their mouth. It's a tongue flies out, grabs the swamp lettuce, and goes back in. They're munching away. Silver and Raz, you notice through the crowd, you can see the bald head of Otto. He's got a large pack over his back. And it looks like they're rushing towards the northern, well, it'd be the southern part of the town, where it looks to be where a lot of, there's the docks kind of end. Almost like seems like a good area where people would park boats and things like that. He's kind of.
There's one of your friends.
Yep. Are they're running towards or away from the barge or towards the
Looks
barge?
like they're going in between people, weaving in and out towards the area where the barge is headed.
Okay. Well, I guess I wanted to see if there was mail for me on the barge anyway, and I'm gonna take off after him.
Okay.
I start running too.
I follow.
Okay.
I also follow.
Okay.
Well, you're still on my head, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm along for the
You have
ride.
no choice.
Right. So
I mean, you can fall off if you want, but...
now, there's a lot of people here, and so it's hard to keep your eye on Otto throughout this. So what we're going to do is we're going to start this out by making it's kind of like a skill challenge. We're going to do a group perception check to see if you guys can keep your eyes on Otto throughout all this nonsense. So as
I
you...
would also just, say to Vix, watch the bald head. Because he has a height advantage.
Yeah, Vix, I'm going to give you advantage.
Okay.
Because you're kind of doing the little kid at the concert kind of thing, or is
Let me know if we ever get within 30 feet.
Okay.
Oh man,
15
that
for me.
advantage did so much for me.
16.
16. Okay.
22.
22. Nice. Franklin's got a height advantage too.
Yeah.
10. What the other two of you have? What's
16.
16 and 15. Okay. Vix, I'm not sure why you're getting distracted with this. I think maybe it's because Raz is running and you're kind of bobbing up and down on her back. And everything's kind of blurry for you. But as the rest of you are moving, you guys can still see that bald head bobbing. He has some tribal tattoos kind of creeping up from the back of his neck. Kind of Mike Tyson-esque as they come up the back. Not on the front of his face or anything, but... He looks like he's headed with some hustle. You don't get within 30 feet just yet, but as you're moving through, you can see that he's starting to take abrupt turns around buildings, and you don't think he notices you, but he's going so quick it's hard to kind of exactly know exactly where he's going. Everybody make a group survival check this time as you guys are moving through. Your first one was considered a success. So
10.
24.
13.
Jesus.
Also 13.
also 13.
I got 24.
You got a 24. You guys are headed, and all of a sudden, Raz, you seem to be pretty focused on where he's going, but Vix thinks that you made a wrong turn, and he starts like pulling on your hair a little bit and pulling you over, and it seems like Franklin and Silver are kind of darting that same way that he's pulling you, and you start to doubt yourself. Like, did I really see him, or did he really go this way? And then you just navigate with the rest of the group, and you start to follow behind. And then after a few minutes, you look up and you realize you've lost the bald head.
I swore he went this way.
Let's spread out, see if we can find them. Search by the docks. We know they had a boat.
Okay.
There are 3 different dock areas. There's one that kind of jets out pretty far. It's kind of like a far away, medium, and then a short dock. There's kind of like 3 different docks that you guys could go. Which one would you guys be headed?
Franklin nearest, Silver middle. I'll go farthest. I can run fastest. Go.
I'm on his shoulders.
Yeah, you're still with me.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why the side you went. Sorry.
Bobbing around through the crowd. So you guys make your way. Franklin, you get to the shorter dock first. It's the closest to you. And you make your way. There's a lot of people out. And you can see there's several rowboats that are tied to small tree stumps that stick out of the ground here. Looks like a lot of them are just small fishing boats of sorts. You can see some are longer wooden boats that look like they're made for loggers to go out and cut down trees and be able to haul wood kind of floating behind them. Make a perception check for me.
22.
Nice. You notice, looking across the other docks, you get a good... There's like a gap in the crowd right here, and you get a good view of Merritt and Gabriel on the longest dock, farthest away from you.
How far are they from me?
They're a good... It's probably 200-300 feet, something like that. So it's a good distance away.
Okay.
It's kind of like the equivalent of looking like a couple blocks away from you, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna start heading that way, and if I have to swim through water to get there faster, I will.
Swimming through the water would get you there faster. The problem is that the barge is headed your way. So, what kind of a swim speed do you have?
It's the same my movement, so 30.
Okay. You think you could probably get there before the barge got there? You think you'd be okay?
Let me know when I get within 90 feet.
Okay, will do. All right, Silver, you're headed to the middle dock. It takes you a little bit of weaving in and out of people, but eventually you find your way to the middle dock. The middle dock seems to have a lot that the smaller dock did, these smaller rowboats. It doesn't look like there's any complicated vessels here. The most complicated vessel was the Lockjaw and this barge that's headed your way. But go ahead and make a perception check as well as you're looking around.
That is a 16.
16. You also notice the same thing Franklin did. You can see probably about 120 feet away from you on the farthest dock to your right. Merritt and Gabriel are almost at the end of the dock. It seems like there's like a line forming there, and they're like third and fourth in line.
I'm going to start running that way, and I'm going to cast invisibility.
Okay. So you go invisible. So basically what you'll have to do is you'll have to come back off the dock, move around through all these people, and then head onto the larger dock. So, and you go completely invisible, and you people are walking, all of a sudden they're just like, they get the shoulder bump from you. Oh, what's that?
Sorry.
And just all of a sudden, and no one speaks back to them. They're like, what is that? Raz and Vix, you guys are fighting the crowd, and as you get to the large dock, a lot of people seem to be really angry as you start passing them by. Hey, I was in line.
We're not getting in line.
The line
I'm not
starts
getting on the
back.
ship.
The line starts back there.
We're not
I'm
getting
not
in
getting on
line.
the ship. I just keep going.
Flick him in the forehead with a
It's like, ow! And you guys start just like walking by. A couple people, like, you can hear all these people like yelling. It's kind of like I remember sometimes when you have like somebody riding a motorcycle and they're waiting in line, and somebody gets off on a motorcycle and drives like around the whole line of cars, and all the cars are like beeping their horns. Hey, you're cheating! That's kind of like what all these people are yelling as you're headed that way. It seems like a lot of people have their stuff, and it's like, since this has been the first barge to come here in a while, a lot of people are thinking they get a free ride home. So they're getting ready. And you make your way up, and you catch up to Otto, who is about 30 feet from making it up to the front. You can see that a lot of people are like giving him flack too. He's like, I was here already. Shut your mouth. And he's like, he's just like giving as much smack talk back to the rest of the group. And Otto's a pretty big, intimidating guy. So most of the people aren't really, most of the people are intimidating by him. And you catch up to him. You're about 10 feet behind him.
How far are we from where Merritt... Do I see Merritt and Otto?
Yeah, they're still about 30 feet ahead at the end of the dock.
Well, they're within 30 feet?
Yeah, they're in 30 feet now. Mm-hmm.
Can I cast Charm Person at 2nd level to get both of them at the front of the line?
Yes, you could.
That's what I'd like to do.
Is that a wisdom save?
That's a, yes, wisdom save.
Wisdom save, gotcha. Let me double check their stats on wisdom really quick.
Hopefully they're idiots.
Okay. What's the DC?
13. It's
Okay.
low.
Okay. So, like, is this something you have to, like, actually, will you know magically if they're charmed, or is this something that you have to find out by giving commands or talking to them?
If it fails saving their charm, it doesn't say specifically.
Okay.
It just says if it fails, it's charmed by you until the spell ends.
Okay, sounds good. So I will say that you'll kind of have to engage with them to find out.
Friends, come over here, please. This way.
You see Merritt and Gabriel look towards you guys. Otto, hearing what's going on behind him, kind of turns around suspiciously as well. Huh? And you see Gabriel standing next to Merritt. Gabriel just goes, kind of shrugs, takes his bag, sets it down to Merritt, and starts just walking casually back the line. Merritt's like, What are you doing? Get back here. We're about to go. And he's just walking, strutting. He takes his long hair and kind of pulls it out from his eyes as he's walking. He passes by Otto. He taps Otto on the shoulder. Hey. And just walks right by him. What are you doing? So Gabriel just approaches you.
I like this one. He listens.
I'm going to set Vix down, and then I'm going after Merrick.
Okay. So are you...
I'm just going to walk up to him.
You're just walking up to him. You see him...
With a lot of purpose.
You see him look at you. He gets eyes wide. And then he looks to his left. He looks to his right. He grabs one of these random people that are standing in line. And he grabs them and he throws them at you. Like he just takes them and kind of like pushes them out towards you.
I get within 90 feet?
You are within 90 feet.
I cast Entangle, and it's a 20-foot cube. And I'm going to try to get all three of them if I can. If not, I'm focusing on Merrick.
Okay.
And the big guy. If I can get both of them, I'm happy.
20-foot cube. Since they called Gabriel back, you can either get Merritt or both the goons. Because they're about.
Get merit.
You're gonna get merit. Okay, so
And it's everybody in a 20-foot cube, so including the NPC, including nameless NPC,
including all the people in line.
strength saving throw of DC 14.
Excellent. Well, surprisingly enough, a lot of the NPCs that are standing in line, as all these vines begin to grow around and wrap around, some of them actually get free. Like, they pull their legs free, and some of them jump off the dock into the water, splashing almost immediately into the cold water. You can see some panic like start to just ensue from the end of the dock, and Merritt is completely wound in vines, and he's trying to wiggle himself free. No, what is that? And at that point,
This lasts for a minute.
and it lasts for a minute. Okay, make note of that, because this is where we're going to end tonight's episode of Delve and Dash, as Merritt is entangled into this vine. And Silver, you have just your invisibility is working a charm. You're headed right behind. You're going to be right behind this crew as you start to see this chaos unfold at the end of the dock.
Perfect.
Well done, friends. Well done. You have successfully wrapped up Merritt and are approaching him with vengeance, I assume.
I don't know what you're talking about.
As you seem to be this might be aggressive interrogations here. Well done. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Delve and Dash. Sorry for the late start. We had a little bit. I had some things that I had to do for work tonight. So once I got that done, I was able to get on here and stream. We've got. Do we got an episode of Mystic Hour tonight?
Not sure.
Not sure. Okay.
We'll find out.
As soon as stay tuned tonight, guys. We may have an episode of Mystic Hour tonight, so make sure you hang out with Christy and the crew if they're Christy Mystic Water.
Who is that?
I don't, if you haven't figured that out by now, Stumpy from chat, then
She sounds kind of cool or whatever.
yeah, she's pretty cool. I think you would really enjoy.
I
Watching.
heard she had like cool colored hair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's cooler than our hair.
yeah, probably.
Also, Jamie, just so you know, you're dead.
Yeah.
Get in line. There's
Yeah.
so many people that want to kill me.
She's in chat saying, "I'ma kill you."
Who's in chat? I can't see it. Hey, you're in my chat. That's my chat. I'm the overlord of this chat. You can't talk to me like this.
I think you've been overruled by.
The only person that can overrule me is Victoria, because she is the overlordess of chat.
Yeah.
You forget. I think she would side with Christy.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
No, Christy, it's not yours. No.
All right.
Bad.
All right, everybody.
Oh, hail Christy.
We will be back.
The new Lord of Chat.
We will be back next week. So all of you overlords of chat, make sure you're here. Give Jamie some shade in the chat because that's always entertaining. So we will be back next week for some more Delve and Dash. Make sure you tune in to see what happens with Merritt and the rest of the group as they are approaching in on him. It's going to get pretty interesting, I have a feeling. So until then, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus, and we'll see you guys soon. Have a good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night,